This is my voiceover PowerPoint presentation on practicing social work with cultural humility, engagement, assessment, AMP, intervention strategies for social work 605 and Professor Cummings. My name is Annie Dorr and today I will walk us through a client system scenario applying an evidence-based approach and applying the tenets of cultural humility. This here is my new client Maria. She is a college student studying art history. She set up a therapy session with me to begin dealing with some serious depression and anxiety issues. She is struggling a lot with her workload, her grades have been falling behind and she cannot manage to get out of bed anymore. She has few friends in town and her boyfriend ended things with her a month ago. She has not been coping well with this loss either. Maria is seeking out therapy treatment to deal with some of these issues. She has tried speaking to her father as a support system, but he doesn't believe that mental illness or therapy is real. His culture believes that no medicine or doctors need to intervene with these issues. He thinks Maria has been demonstrating her laziness by not turning in assignments or doing well. He does not believe she has anything that really made her this sad. Maria has always struggled periodically with depression, but this time it has grown into suicidal thoughts and feelings of worthlessness. She finally gave in and reached out for help. As her social worker and therapist, I would look at using dialectical behavior therapy as my evidence-based approach to engage and assess my client. Dialectical behavioral therapy is a form of comprehensive cognitive behavioral therapy. It was originally developed to treat patients with chronic suicidal thoughts, particularly as a part of borderline personality disorder. The suicidal thoughts occurred less frequently when patients learned how to manage and redirect their thought patterns. With Maria, I want to work to integrate the research-based practice and use her own personal cultural differences together to create the best way for her to heal and grow. There are 4 main skills that we can work with Maria to gain while working with me and DBT. They are mindfulness, which is the practice of staying focused on the present moment. Many people with chronic depression or unstable moods worry about things in the past or future. Mindfulness trains your brain to stay in the here and now. Distress tolerance, which is a skill that can help people remain calmer in difficult situations. This teaches you to learn to tolerate mildly to moderately unpleasant experiences. Interpersonal effectiveness, which enables you to ask for the things you want, while also saying no to things you don't want. DBT teaches you how to advocate for your own likes and dislikes in a way that creates respect for yourself as well as for others. Emotion regulation, which can be a challenge for people who feel like they're at the mercy of life's whims. Emotion regulation teaches you how to change emotions that you want to change, like angry outbursts or crying in response to minor frustrations. The skills in DBT are divided into 2 categories: acceptance, mindfulness and distress tolerance, and change, interpersonal effectiveness and emotion regulation. The goal of DBT is to find a healthy balance of these 4 components. Cultural competence education for health professionals aims to ensure all people receive equitable, effective health care, particularly those from culturally and linguistically diverse backgrounds.
Cultural humility is one construct for understanding and developing a process-oriented approach to competency. Conceptualize cultural humility as the ability to maintain an interpersonal stance that is other-oriented, or open to the other, in relation to aspects of cultural identity that are most important to the person, p. 2. 3 factors guide a sojourner toward cultural humility. The first aspect is a lifelong commitment to self-evaluation and self-critique. Underlying this piece is the knowledge that we are never finished, we never arrive at a point where we are done learning. Therefore, we must be humble and flexible, bold enough to look at ourselves critically and desire to learn more. When we do not know something, are we able to say that we do not know? Willingness to act on the acknowledgement that we have not and will not arrive at a finish line is integral to this aspect of cultural humility as well. Understanding is only as powerful as the action that follows.
The second feature of cultural humility is a desire to fix power imbalances where none ought to exist. Tervalon Amp, Marie Garcia, 1998. Recognizing that each person brings something different to the proverbial table of life helps us see the value of each person. When practitioners interview clients, the client is the expert on his or her own life, symptoms and strengths. The practitioner holds a body of knowledge that the client does not. However, the client also has understanding outside the scope of the practitioner. Both people must collaborate and learn from each other for the best outcomes. One holds power in scientific knowledge, the other holds power in personal history and preferences. Finally, cultural humility includes aspiring to develop partnerships with people and groups who advocate for others. Though individuals can create positive change, communities and groups can also have a profound impact on systems. We cannot individually commit to self-evaluation and fixing power imbalances without advocating within the larger organizations in which we participate. Cultural humility, by definition, is larger than our individual selves. We must advocate for it systemically. Multiracial and multi-ethnic individuals and families illustrate the cultural richness of our diverse nation. As therapists, we have a responsibility to recognize and value the diversity of our clients. We must enter our therapeutic relationships with cultural humility, acknowledging that we are always in the process of learning and growing. Stage 1. Many patients begin therapy in a state of crisis, so it's first important to help them get stabilized and to establish an atmosphere of safety and calm. This begins with teaching patients how to gain some control over their emotions in the short term. For Maria, this could include acknowledgement of these sessions being confidential with no judgment. It appears that her father's opinion at home may have caused her to be ashamed of her struggles, so we want to actively create a space where she feels safest to express those struggles, especially her experience of suicide ideation. Stage 2. Most patients have more stable behavior in this stage, but emotional reactions can still cause occasional trouble. The therapist helps the patient to safely explore the causes of emotional pain instead of burying it. This stage can be where we begin to map out those emotions of hers. What triggers them? What experiences did she feel that the most? How did she respond? Stage 3. This stage focuses on maintenance of healthy behavior and reasonable goal setting. In this phase, you focus on pursuing happiness and stability. With Maria, we can now begin to establish positive coping mechanisms. We can begin to create lists for her moving forward with her school assignments, her communication with her professors, and her ability to stick to her therapy without letting her dad affect her. Stage 4. In this phase, you focus more on big picture goals. You determine the goals you want to achieve and make plans to go after them. The focus is not only on maintaining happiness and stability but also on pursuing spiritual fulfillment. Maria could focus also on bringing her father into a potential session. She might be able to begin to open up and provide insight into her life with him and how he can be supportive of her life.